What is up, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's Samelo TV. Chelsea have drawn Manchester United 1-1, and surprise, surprise, we did not win at Old Trafford after 11 years. So that is disappointing, I must say. It was really frustrating to watch that game. Just jumping right into it, we didn't start well. Sanchez is not a good passer of the ball. He just doesn't know how to pass the ball. Like, how do you have you want to have possession, you want to play possession football, and you don't have a goalkeeper that can pass? Like, dude just kept kicking it out of bounds, which makes it hard for anybody to build from the back. And I feel like Onana is actually underrated. I watched this man closely today, and his passing was very good. He's very good on the ball. He allowed them progress the ball a lot more efficiently than we did. And for a large part in the early parts of that game, they had the upper hand. It took a while for us to get our foot in the game, which we eventually did. However, we let them. I think they were really well set up today, and you gotta give credit to Ruud for that. Ruud Van Nistelrooy may not be the coach going forward, but honestly, I would have preferred to play Almiron today, because that man really set them up properly. They were playing defense. They were solid defensively. They didn't really give us that much time on the ball, and when we did get the time on the ball, we didn't make good decisions. I thought Palmer was very disappointing today. It's another big game that he's kind of not done, being at his best. I think even early in the game, there was a chance where he was basically one-on-one, against Delict, and he had, I think we were like 4-on-3 or something, and he makes the wrong decision, shooting the ball at the defender, because he just kind of dallied too long on the ball, giving them a chance to put a block on the shot. So that just kind of frustrated me a bit. But watching that game, there was so many times. The only person that we had as an outlet was Gusto. Early in the game, it seemed like Gusto was the only one that was able to get into these attacking positions. But I don't trust Gusto to make good decisions in terms of scoring. And sometimes even his crosses can be very underwhelming. It seemed like he was just passing the ball to Onana. Onana didn't really have a save to make for large parts of that game. So that game was frustrating in the early parts. And going into, there was just a couple things. I thought Madueke was very disappointing today. He couldn't beat his man. Like, it seemed like, who was on the side? I think Mazraoui. He couldn't beat Mazraoui. He had him on toast. Mazraoui had him locked up. That's like a couple games now where I've seen Madueke just fumble over the ball multiple times, not being able to beat his man. If your only skill when attacking is speed and simply dragging the ball, you gotta have more to your game than that. You gotta be able to do more than just dragging the ball. You gotta be able to use some skills to evade your man. Many times today, it just seemed like he was just running to dark alleys. They had him locked up. Mazraoui had a really good game today. That was my first time closely watching him, and he looked really good. And there's so many times in this game, I think Martinez was lucky to not get a penalty in this game, to not cuss, because he fouled Colwill on one of the chances where the ball, it was a corner kick in which Madueke hits the post, and on the rebound, Colwill takes a shot at the goal in which I think Martinez panicked and just swiped at him, kicks him. That could have been a penalty. I feel like Colwill stood on the floor long enough so that they could review it, and unfortunately it wasn't ruled a penalty, but yeah, that dude is kind of reckless. He's very reckless, and he could have cost his team there. But we did all that. We huffed and puffed. Both teams huffed and puffed. I mean, late in the first half, Rashford could have scored on the last chance where, once again, I don't understand these lofted passes. They're just going over our defenders. It was frustrating. And then he gets a simple shot at the post and hits the bar. That was frustrating to watch. But I thought Maresca was gonna make the change in the second half. Either he was gonna switch it, he's gonna change it a little bit. Maybe bring on somebody off the bench to change it up a little bit. I expected that he was gonna bring on Enzo a lot earlier. But that game was in the balance all through that time. It seemed like we needed a little bit more of a offensive spark. Enzo is good. Enzo is good at is a bit better in terms of progressing the ball than Lavia and Caicedo. Caicedo and Lavia seem to just keep the game ticking, but there wasn't much of an offensive spark in that game for us. We did so. It's so frustrating with Enzo because with Enzo we seem to attack bet more, but we're just way more vulnerable defensively. So today that was very evident because we weren't really creating from, having Lavia and Caicedo in that midfield. They were good, but I don't think we were as creative as we've been in some other games. So I thought that Joao Felix could have come in a little bit to add to that creativity that we were missing, but that never surmised. I don't even think he didn't play at all this game. So that was kind of hard to watch, man. Just watching us be unable to create, that was frustrating. And then they go ahead. Naturally, it was what a pass by Casemiro, first of all. But what is Fofana doing? Like, if you're gonna jump, make sure you're gonna get to the ball. Don't just jump for vibes. Don't be jumping for vibes, man. If you're gonna jump, make sure you get that ball. Make sure you get a head on it. Totally misses the ball. Højlund has a good touch, but it seemed like the chance was gone. But our bozo goalkeeper has to launch in. All he has to do there is just literally just usher him out. But he lunges in, touches Højlund. Højlund was never going to score from there. He was already going away from goal. You usher him out, but he panics and just swipes at him. I knew he was gonna. Old Trafford. That's a penalty every day, and twice on Sunday, man. That is a penalty, and that's what we deserved at that point. We weren't playing well. They were growing in confidence as that game went on. We didn't knock them out. We didn't do anything that would strike fear in them. So they grew in confidence. Luckily for us, we have Moises Caicedo. And I was just about to say, we've had 7 corner kicks. We're not doing anything with them. Either it hits the first man, or we're not able to convert, or it's a direct claim by Onana, or whatever it is. We weren't capitalizing on our corner kicks. And here come Cole Palmer with the corner kick. It was a nothing corner kick. They easily clear it, but Caicedo was on hand to smash it in. Oh man, what a strike. Caicedo was our best player today by a country mile. By a country mile. He was our best player. Kid was on point today. The tackles, the passing, he was really good today. And that strike, he deserved that goal. He really deserved that goal. I was worried when it looked like Mudryk would have been caught offside, but Mudryk made the right decision to open up so the ball can go through. And he was onside. Even if he hit him or he was obstructing play, and anyway, he was onside. So, man, that was good to see. So I thought for sure we're gonna kick on. It's like 70-something minutes at this point. We're gonna kick on. We're gonna try to go for the win. I thought that the substitutions were okay, but where was Nkunku today? Where was Joao Felix? Nobody could come in and add something to it. I thought Mudryk was okay, but did he have an imprint on the game that was decisive? No, I don't think so. But here we are. No win in 11 years at Old Trafford. See, this still baffles me because how? And it's the worst Manchester United in years. We should be putting these dudes away. We should be putting them away. But we once again underperformed. And I don't know what it is. It doesn't look good, especially because we got knocked out midweek. And then we come in and we lay an egg. We didn't win. I don't think the performance was horrible, but this is a disappointing loss, a draw, which feels like a loss. This was a disappointing draw for us. And this I'm happy to be in the top four. I'm happy to be, ahead of Arsenal at this point. However, this was a chance to put a little bit of distance between us, at least a 2-point gap, so that when we're going to that game at Stamford Bridge next week, we can stretch it out to 5 points. I think this draw puts us right into a top four race. We have to be realistic now. We're in the top four race. We're not competing for the big honors this year. Unless something changes. We need to do better against the big sides. Man United are not a big side this year, but we made them look really good today. We need to be better. I don't think Palmer is at his best today. There's so many players that was frustrating me at times today. I thought Lavia lost the ball way too many times today. Fofana makes me nervous a lot. But at least we didn't lose. Because after that, they scored their penalty. It could have been a loss. So we're going to take this one. We're going to learn from it. We're a young side. We can definitely iron out a lot with this team. So I'm optimistic that when we do meet them at Stamford Bridge, we put these guys away. But I thought that this was a big opportunity missed. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you think that we should have done better? Did we deserve to win today? Personally, I don't think we did. I think this was a deserved result. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, okay? This is Samelo TV, and I will catch you on the next one.